So I'm setting up our live right now. I'm going to get started in a second.
Excuse me? I didn't really hear you.
Yeah, let me know if my audio is not working. If we are
Yeah,
live.
yeah, it sounds a little quiet at times, but I can hear you.
Okay. I'm going to plug in my podcast mic and then do another audio test. Okay. Testing, testing. One, two, three. Can you hear me better?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. So we want to go ahead and jump right in. It is 7 o'clock. Thank you. We are live and recording. We're also live on our YouTube page. And welcome. Right now, we're going to have our summer orientation specifically for Youthworks, but also for the young people who may not be youth workers with us, but are just a part of our program. We're going to thank you, welcome you back if you're coming back, and welcome you to a new summer with us if you are new to us. So give me a second while I get the screen share up and running. All right, we are Excellence and Ambition. Check out our website at www.ambitiousyouth.org. We are a 501c3 organization dedicated to youth empowerment. So I wanted to welcome everyone again. Thank you for chiming in with us. I'm going to go over our history right quick. So Excellence and Ambition, ENA, was founded in 2012. I started in our home teaching my daughters and their friends about entrepreneurship. So I have 4 daughters and they were just in my house all the time every weekend doing nothing. So we started first selling candy out of the house, then doing other small businesses out of the house, and it grew into a curriculum. It grew into something that became great. And so we incorporated in 2015 with a vision for every participant to have the ability to maximize his or her full potential. One second, let me see if I can get that. Julia, can't wait to race next time. Ciao, Julia. I'm sorry about that. I was getting an echo from the YouTube. Okay, who are we? We are again 501c3 organization. We are focused on specific programming. Those programs include workforce development and training, professionalism, entrepreneurship, community leadership, and economic empowerment. We specifically work with youth age 14 through 21. We do have some older youth that work with us as well, those who have graduated out but continue with us, or those who come to us at an earlier age. And for the most part, we work with them in workforce development in order to get them into employment. We are headquartered in Baltimore City, Maryland. So I know we also, this year is the first year that we are open to youth from other states. So we're going to be having some young people on from Texas and a couple from the Chicago area. So I'm excited about that. So here's our schedule. I wanted to make sure, I'm not sure who, I did text someone the wrong date. I'm so sorry about that. We start on Monday, June 28th, and we operate Monday through Friday from 9:30 to 2:30. And from 9:30 to 10, we have our greetings and icebreakers. This is going to be hosted by Jada and Justice. They're going to be doing the cahoots. Then from 10 to 10:45, we have community leadership and engagement. And we'll go over that in a second, exactly what that looks like. Then you get your 15-minute break. Then from 11 to 11:45, we have the Young Millionaires in Training program. Then another 15-minute break. You see, you got all these breaks in here. We mixed your break and lunch. So instead of a half hour, you would get a 45-minute break and lunch. From 12:30 to 1:30, you have Youth Build Community Session. And from 1:30 to 2:30, you have the Youth and Entrepreneurship Session. Partnering with Youthworks this year, they have lined up some wonderful guest speakers for you guys, and so I didn't want you to miss out or lose out. So the reason why YEP is only Tuesday and Thursdays is because on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays you will be virtually going to the Youthworks sessions that they are planning with those guest speakers. And so Money Matters Monday, that's financial literacy. Winning Wednesdays, that's Youth Voice. And Bright Future Fridays is their college and career readiness program. Now, we also have Youth Voice. That is what community leadership and engagement is. It's all about youth voice, how to use your voice, how to be an advocate for yourself and your generation. And so I'm very glad that what they're doing on Wednesday will complement what we'll be doing on a daily basis. Money Matters Mondays, financial literacy is very much connected and very much in line with what you'll be learning in Young Millionaires in Training. It's really about economic empowerment, how to set yourself up to have multiple streams of income, and then what that looks like for you as a young person. Because I'm sure at 14, 15, you're not thinking about how I can have 7 streams of income and all that stuff. That's like things people over 30 kind of think about, but you can start to learn those things early, and maybe at 14, 15, you can start to think about, if I can't get the job at McDonald's, what else could I be doing to earn my own spending money? Bright Future Fridays is very much in line with Youth Build Community, because it's all about career. What do you want to do with yourself? Because yeah, we're talking about money, but life is not about making money. Because when you talk about the history of money, you realize that money is just, the paper, that we use, or the Bitcoin or whatever. But the worth, what is life worth? What do you love to do? And what do you feel that you have been anointed, or what you've been sent here to do? What's your purpose? And so that college and career readiness really puts you in in a good mindset to figure out what you're going to do past high school. And then we also have our additional optional programming. This is not a part of Youthworks. This is a part of what Excellence and Ambition does. It's the Sister and Brother Circle, and that's from 2:30 to 3. And you will get that link. It's a sign up for that. This really is about sisterhood. We get, and Yamadi can talk about it a little bit later, what Sister Circle is about and how the young ladies come together and really build a sisterhood with each other. They get to talk about issues that they're going through, and to get some advice from those who are older, that are college students or fresh out of college, that can kind of give you a perspective on how to be a positive young person, even though, the world may not be positive all the time. Brother Circle is the same way. We have some wonderful young men. Tyreek is one of them. He's on the call. It's a great example of a young man who just keeps his mind on positivity again, and always working towards being his best self. And so we want to get you guys into to have those conversations and, start to build relationships with other people that can be either a mentor or a mentee. Communications and social media. So we will communicate the schedule updates, survey links, flyers, videos, pictures, mostly through Telegram and Instant Messenger. So I'm going to be doing everything through Telegram, and Tariq is going to be sending out whatever I send on Telegram to Messenger if that is your preferred way of communication. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, excellence_ambition1. If you prefer IG communication, submit your IG handle to Jada and Tariq. So I'm going to leave this up for a second. For those of you who are either on right now, you can write it down, take a print screen of it, whatever you need to do. So I'll be quiet for a second so that you can, work that out. All right. And again, that is for if you would like to get communications through your Instagram Messenger. But please know, most of your communications for Excellence and Ambition is going to come through Telegram, and most of your communications through Youthworks is going to come to your email. So make sure you check your email on a daily basis, because you never know what Youthworks might have to like share with you, that they might be having some changes or whatever. So keep track with your email and your Telegram. So, because we have been having a lot of requests for in-person activities, you guys, so our program is all virtual. So this is an all virtual program this year. It is considered hybrid with Youthworks because we have young people who work with us all year round who are our facilitators, and they will be coming to our building when they need to facilitate their sessions and classes. And some of them are paid through Youthworks. And so we had to be listed as a hybrid. But everyone else, you will be considered virtual with us. But again, I had a lot of parents call. I had at least 10 parents call asking for something in person because you guys have been literally locked down for a year, and I completely agree. And I empathize with that wholeheartedly. So we have 3 events that we are planning to do in person throughout the summer. So the first one is Happy Nappy Day, Poets in the Park. This we partner with Malika Tamu and Dreads and Heads every year for this event. It has vendors, and again, it's called Poets in the Park for a reason, because the poets and the dancers and the African dancers and the drummers, we all come together at Gwen Oak Park every year. You'll get the full flyer with the date and everything on it. Once we get started, I just wanted you guys to plan for it. It is in the middle of June. July. It is July 11th, and I will get that time for you also. I'll make sure this flyer is going to go in Telegram, and it's going to go to those who want the communication on IG. So you are also invited to Sister Saving the City's Youth League Town Hall meeting. So this is all about, youth empowerment. You guys, as you learn about activism and you learn about speaking up for your generation, you'll have an opportunity to do that in a panel discussion where you guys are the panelists and everyone else will have to listen to your perspective about what it is that you guys need, and not just give perspective, but to give solutions. Especially us here in Baltimore, we're dealing with violence, we're dealing with our school system, not teaching the way that they should. There's a lot of things that are going on in society right now. We want to make sure not only that you have a voice, but that you have solutions so that the generation behind you won't continue to have the same problems moving forward. And I'm sorry, that town hall is scheduled for July 30th. Be More Lit Conference. This is our annual conference. We actually teach according to specialty. What do I mean by that? So if you are a dancer, Then we have classes for dancers, not just how to dance, but how to maneuver in the dance industry, the music industry, the fashion industry, science, technology, engineering, and math, STEM industries, and photography. And the first part of the day, you'll be in sessions and classes that lean towards those industries. And then in the afternoon, after lunch, we have a full concert and vending. And though for the concert, we feature young people, young artists from the area. And our vendors are also youth vendors as well. So we're going to quickly go over Zoom and chat etiquette. So I like this picture. I like this picture because it really does show what we want to see in the morning. I know it's early sometimes, but we do want to see you on screen. But we do want you to stay muted unless you are speaking. We want you to use your hand emoji and wait to be called on. And I say that we want to have your camera on, but it can be turned off. Especially if your facilitator is using a share screen, like I'm using a share screen right now. If your facilitator is presenting a PowerPoint, like I'm presenting a PowerPoint right now. If your facilitator is showing a video, if you're traveling in a car, or there's a lot of movement in your background, I do ask you to turn your camera off in those cases. Other than that, please have your camera on. Also, make sure that your background and your screen are professional. What do I mean by that? Um, you may be able to see our logo. Once I come off the share screen, you'll be able to see our logo on the side. With my camera off, you can also see our logo. You may want to put a picture of yourself on your screen, or your background screen, or what is it called when you take your camera off and you can see that image right there. Just make sure that screen is professional. Stay away from profanity, stay away from images that may be seen as vulgar to other people. I mean, you guys are old enough to understand what that means, and so we shouldn't have to ask you to take down your picture or take down something from your background. You should, and you've been doing this virtual thing for a little while now, so we should all just work together to make sure that we do that. Remember that we can see the chat, including the private messaging. So keep that in mind when using the chat feature in Zoom. Like right now, I am recording. So when the recording stops, I have the option to print the chat. And when I print the chat, I can see every communication that was happening during that Zoom meeting. So not just the main chat, but that includes the side chats. So keep that in mind. And if you didn't know that already, and maybe you've been chatting along, for a while now, just letting you know that whoever you were chatting on the side with, the main person who had access to that chat was able to see that communication. So registration and our organization rules. So you will receive a registration link for us in Telegram or IG. Make sure that you complete that registration link. That is for our grand tours. Okay, so that is separate from Youthworks. So we need to take our separate attendance for that grand tour. We are funded through Baltimore City, the Family League of Baltimore, and so we do take a separate attendance to make sure that registration is going to be very important for us as an organization. Your attendance will be taken every day by Jada in that 9 o'clock, 9:30 time frame. And so make sure that you are on time. You'll also be taking attendance after you come back from lunch. So make sure that you're on time after lunch as well, so that we can submit your attendance to YouthWorks to make sure you get paid and get whatever your attendance needs are, your administrative needs are for YouthWorks specifically. I'm going to go over the organization's rules right quick, because when you go to do that registration, there are going to be statements that you have to agree to. And those are our standards, of how we operate our program when it comes to not just behavioral stuff, but there are things on there for your parents to fill out, like the liability statement, like the photos, so we can use your photos or your likeness on our social media or our YouTube and all that great stuff. So it's important that you see that registration link and that you complete it. But you also agree to the rules that I'm about to go over right now. So I understand that Excellence in Ambition is not a dating service, and I'm not to fraternize, flirt with, holler at, slide into DMs, or separately chat with other youth participants, volunteers, mentors, or staff for the purpose of finding an opportunity to create a relationship other than what is considered professional and work related. This includes during lunch and break time. It is understood that the organization cannot control what happens once a participant is no longer under the watchful eye of the staff. However, I will take responsibility for my actions and I will not allow or not do anything to harm the integrity or reputation of the organization, myself, my family, or other affiliated programs. That is a very important rule that we have. Every participant, now this is another one, separate one. Every participant has a right to be in a safe and supportive environment, which is free from discrimination, harassment, and bigotry. So I understand what appropriate language is, and I will conduct myself accordingly and respectfully. Um, as being a part of the organization, I will not discriminate against anyone on basis of race, color, religion, creed, gender expression, age, national origin, ancestry, disability, marital status, sexual orientation, or military status in any of its activities or operations. I know those are long, but I just want to make sure that I'll at the Q&A, if you have any questions about these rules, please feel free to ask, okay? We're going to get the question and answer in a second. COVID safety while participating for in-person activities is very important. So I will abide by the COVID illness policies of the organization to include washing my hands, using hand sanitizer, social distancing, wearing a mask while indoors, making staff aware of any symptoms of sickness, temperature checks on site, answering the COVID check-in questions, and staying updated about vaccination choices. We are not mandating that you have a vaccine, but we do want you to be educated about vaccines. And, if your family chooses to be vaccinated, great. If they do not choose to be vaccinated, that's fine too. Just know what, stay updated about what the vaccinations, what they are, what's available to you. I agree to be counseled by members of the professional staff in matters related to my behavior as it affects my progress and welfare within the program and the community. I understand that I'll be given an opportunity to voice my opinions and concerns at an appropriate time if I do not agree with anything about the program partners or other participants. I agree to show respect to all members of this community, solving conflicts peacefully and avoiding fighting inside or outside of the program site. I will behave respectfully without attitude and cooperate when a staff member gives a direction or makes a request. Last year, there were a lot of young people who just did not want to put their camera on. I get it. But when you are in a professional environment, you have to have your camera on. Just as if you had to be in person. So we shouldn't get any sucking teeth, rolling eyes, all that stuff when someone asks you to put your camera on. Again, I know what behaviors are appropriate and what behaviors may result in an immediate disciplinary action. Um, and those actions include a suspension or an expulsion of the program, and it will result from any theft, physical alteration, fighting, um, threats of physical safety to other participants, the staff, the program partners, or volunteers, as well as any sexually deviant behaviors or harassment. And if you have a question about what that means, specifically sexual deviant behaviors or harassment, we can make sure you have that in your question, and I'll be clear to answer any questions that you might have about that. So everyone should have received your Youthworks Handbook. Remember, you work for Youthworks, and Excellence and Ambition is your work site. So any questions about Youthworks specifically, please contact their office. at 410-396-5627. If you don't have a handbook, we do have the electronic copy, and I can email one to you. And I do want to explore the handbook, but let me see. What I'll do is, if there are any specific questions, I'll pull up the handbook and make sure that we get to the correct page on that handbook. All right, so I will come out of this so I can see my screen. Are there any questions, comments? I know I went through that. I went through that fast, didn't I?
Hi, I have a question.
Hello.
So thank you so much for this opportunity. So if one of the workers is not able to do it between 9:30 and 2:30, they can't make up that time. Is that correct? It must be between 9:30 and 2:30?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. For us, so, and it also depends on what is going on. Like if it's for school or if it's something. Just make sure you communicate with us. Myself or Jada, we're here. If it's something that we need to take care of. For the most part, we haven't had any real issues. Let me turn my camera on. I can't talk. Man. Um, so we haven't had any real issues with young people. If they come on for that morning time and they can't come for the afternoon, we understand that, and vice versa. Usually it's like I said, stuff that's school related. It can't really be made up. So I'm sorry about that, but just because each day, runs into the next day, and we don't have the hours to continue on past that 3 o'clock time frame.
Okay, thank you so much.
Jada, Marty, Tariq, I see you guys.
Mommy, we can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
I
Hello?
can hear you now, but yeah, we can hear you now. We couldn't hear you before.
Yeah, I was just saying you guys are old hams at this. Y'all been doing this for a while, so I'm sure you guys have. If you guys don't have any questions, then I'm just gonna put up the contact us screen, and then we can finish out. You're muted.
My bad. I just realized I was, but I want to talk briefly about Sister Circle. So hey everyone, I'm Yamadi Pender. I am the instructor for YP in Sister Circle. Where I'll be helping instruct YP, and I am the leader of Sister Circle. Sister Circle is a program just for girls to come and talk. Like you basically build a sisterhood with other girls and myself. I am about to be 21 next week, and I'm a senior in college. So I try to give as much advice that I can. And it's also for girls just to make friendships and open up. It is a little harder being that it is virtual, but we try to find ways around it. I have Instagram group chats and stuff like that where me and my girls from even previous years still keep in contact and still talk. Brother Circle is very similar. It's for the boys, and I believe Matt is the instructor for Brother Circle. So when it gets to that time on Monday or whatever, we'll have like a sign up sheet, and we'll be able to, see if anybody wants to join. And yeah.
Thank you, Marty. Jada, did you want to speak to administrative specific things? If you can. Can y'all hear me? Then I might go out again.
It's really low.
Okay.
But I don't know if Jada is.
Yeah, I know because she had the baby. So I will say this. Can you guys hear me better when I'm talking? If I talk a little bit elevated?
Yes.
Okay. So when it comes to admin, same thing. Make sure you are here on time. They'll be taking the attendance between 9 and 10 o'clock. And that your camera is on. That will get you a present marking for the morning, and having your screen on and being present for after lunch will get you a present marking for after lunch. And so that's her role. Her role is to go through the participants and make sure that you're there. On your name tag, make sure your first and last name is there. You can change that, and if you need help, assistance on how to change yours. So I will go to the little 3 dots, put rename, and then type my name in so that everybody can see a change from Excellence and Ambition to Miss Bender, so that everybody can see who I am. So that way, when Jada is going through the participant list, your first and last name is there, and she can take your attendance. At least for the first week. After that, she'll be able to know who's who by just looking at the screen and whatnot. But make sure that your name is not your nickname and stuff like that. Then we can't recognize who you are. If you guys don't have any other questions, that was, I think, the fastest orientation I think we've ever had. I'm going to go to the share screen one more time to put up our contact information. And I'm excited to see you all on Monday. This is live on our YouTube right now. So after I click off of here, it will be accessible on the YouTube channel. Make sure you follow us. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.